On this episode of Hornet News Now, Bentley Ballesteri takes us to one of the more popular buzz time sessions on campus.
Chelsea Jensen details the rare illness facing one of our English teachers, Mr. Brado.
And as always, our student and teacher spotlight segments.
Plus, all the latest during a busy spring sports season.
All of that and more on this episode of Hornet News Now. Welcome to Hornet News Now. I'm Hannah Rudnick.
And I'm Carson Hobson. Our news on this episode starts with the annual talent show recently held in Love Auditorium.
More than 50 participants auditioned for the talent show, hosted by FBLA, and over 800 attended.
Megan Hall, who won last year's show, has once again claimed her spot at number 1.
Bryant High School has more than 100 teachers and roughly 2,200 students. It's a large campus, making it easy to go about your day and not noticing those around you. For this story, Chelsea Jensen tells us about one teacher we are all rooting for.
As the bell rings, 10th grade English students enter their class wondering if their teacher will be present. On this day, Mr. Brado is in his usual spot ready to teach. However, he is awaiting an important phone call that will change that.
You never are too far away from your phone. You're always it's always on loud, so even if it goes off in class and it says potential spam, I still have to interrupt everything that I'm doing just to answer it.
The question is, what is this important phone call? Diagnosed as a toddler, Mr. Brado has been living with cystic fibrosis, a life-threatening disorder that damages your lungs and other internal organs. In January, he was added to the lung transplant list. He is now waiting on the call telling him there's a pair of lungs available for him.
It definitely gets your anxiety up a little bit, especially if they can call you at like 3 in the morning and you're expected to get in your car and drive 6 hours so they can split you open like a cantaloupe to put things in you.
He began to understand the severity of his disease around the age of 12. He never let it hold him back.
I've never kind of tried to let CF define who and what I am. So I really kept it quiet. I didn't let my classmates know or anybody else know. I just wanted to be a regular kid.
Despite his willful attitude, the nature of Mr. Brado's disease still takes its toll, especially within the past 5 years.
Every day now, it's just the littlest things can be hard. You never know how much you take breathing for granted until you can't. So just walking, like getting to this interview, I had to wear my oxygen just to walk down the hall from the elevator.
Cystic fibrosis patients have a life expectancy of 44 years. At the age of 42, Mr. Brado credits the people close to him for his quality of life.
Oh, that's my wife, for sure. Without Laura, I'd probably have been dead long ago. If I had not met her, my life would not be as fulfilling as it is today.
Once he gets the call, Mr. Brado will be out for the rest of the year.
Just being away from my job and being away from, even though you guys drive me crazy, you guys for so long, it's gonna be bad. It's not gonna be fun.
Recovery time from his surgery is about 3 months, most of which will take place in St. Louis.
I'm hoping to be back in kayaking by midsummer.
For Hornet Media, I'm Chelsea Jensen.
You can find the longer version of Chelsea's story about Mr. Brado on our YouTube channel in the coming days.
We're all rooting for you, Mr. Brado. Now on to a story about a popular buzz time here on campus. Some students choose a buzz time to relax and others to work. The students choosing this buzz time are doing so to learn. Here's Bentley Ballesteri with more.
We cover all the rules. We cover things from how to follow somebody to how to merge into traffic to all the number questions. How far from a fire hydrant, how long does it take to stop? Just anything and everything that one needs to be able to go take the written driver's test and pass it. all reads like this. It reads if it's bad weather conditions, if it's rain.
Thanks, Bentley. You can also catch Bentley reporting on the engineering classes on the latest episode of the Bryant Buzz. The governor's new education bill is expected to be passed by the Arkansas legislators soon. The bill will have a variety of effects on public education. With more on the story, here's Nevaeh S. Robinson.
And in fact, Hannah, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders signed the Arkansas Learns Act into law Wednesday, and many public school teachers have expressed their opposition to the plan. But what exactly is going to change within the public school system? Mr. Turner, an English 11 and 12 teacher, has stayed up to date with what the plan entails.
It is going to completely change education in a lot of part of Arkansas. The plan changes so much. It goes anywhere from public money going to private schools. The voucher program is a huge, probably the most visible part of the plan, but the Learns plan also changes how teacher pay is going to work.
With controversy surrounding passing of the bill, Mr. Turner has his own opinion of the Learns Act.
The idea of charter schools taking money and private schools taking money from public schools does nothing for the public good.
10th grade English teacher Mr. Buchanan went to the Arkansas Senate Education Committee to voice his opinion on the Arkansas Learns bill and how he and other teachers feel they aren't being heard, stating it only represents an initial investment of recruiting teachers as opposed to keeping them long term, which I believe will lead to bigger problems in the state education and bigger problems for students. When the bill was sent to the House, it was cleared and sent to the Senate within 48 hours. Mr. Turner, along with other educators, believe the process happened too quickly.
When you only have 48 hours from the time a bill is introduced to the first hearing, that's really hard to be informed. So I don't fault citizens, even though, oftentimes citizens aren't engaged with politics. I get it. It's not fun to read laws. I understand. But even for those citizens who want to be engaged, 48 hours just isn't enough.
Mr. Turner argues that state funding for private and homeschooling is un-American, claiming that public schools build our democracy.
Public school is for society. Public school is how we have an informed electorate that is critical thinking enough to make good choices for our leaders. And without public schools being the foundation of that, I worry about democracy as a whole.
Hornet Media attempted to reach out to Governor Sanders' office weeks ago for comment, but received no response. However, in her press conference Wednesday, she stated Arkansas will go from 48th in the nation to top 5 for starting teacher salaries, and that parents will be empowered to send their kids to whatever school is best for them. For Hornet News Now, I'm Nevaeh S. Robinson.
Thanks, Nevaeh, for that story. We'll continue to follow that here on Hornet News. On April 25th, the BHS Career House team is hosting a hiring event for students looking for full-time and part-time jobs.
Businesses will have the opportunity to discuss job openings with students seeking employment and conduct on-site interviews.
This week, our student spotlight is a sophomore at Bryant. She's very involved in the arts on campus. With more, here's Kira Evans.
This week's student spotlight is sophomore Amelia Johnson. She's involved in Bryant Theater, Choir, and Band. She's playing Sebastian in the upcoming performance of The Little Mermaid.
I've worked with really neat people, but it's been a lot of learning lines and choreography and making sure that we get to put on a really great show for everybody.
For Amelia, theater is a bit of a new adventure.
I got roped into it last year for the first time when I did the spring musical, and now I'm a part of a class called Stage Management, which is kind of this elite group where we do a lot of shows every year, and it's been fantastic. I love it so much. It's incredible.
Being in the spotlight isn't always the easiest thing for Amelia, but she handles the pressure well when on stage in the variety of arts that she is involved in.
I really like performing and competing, so I always have a lot of fun with it. Sometimes you get so anxious that you just want to do it. You just want to get it done, feel that kind of rush. So I get a lot out of that. It feels great.
Being in the spotlight isn't always easiest for Amelia, but she handles the pressure well with the variety of arts she's in.
It's a lot, but I feel like prioritizing a lot of small efforts instead of just sitting down and trying to do everything in the span of like several hours is really helpful. It's like if I have a free minute in class, or if I just have like 5 minutes, I'll try to do a little bit of something instead of waiting and letting it all build up. Just a little bit of stuff here and there to keep it from, being super stressful.
For more information on the upcoming spring musical, make sure to catch Nevaeh Robinson's report on the February episode of the Bryant Buzz. For Hornet News Now, I'm Kira Evans.
Thanks, Kira. And later on in sports, Taylor Dishinger has the latest on Kira and how her team did at the state archery competition. But first, our teacher spotlight. Here's Emery Pendergrass.
This week's Teacher Spotlight, Miss Otto has been teaching for 17 years. She currently teaches 4 honors English classes and 2 regular for 10th grade.
I was always really good at English. I had a passion for reading, and I was actually pretty decent at writing. And I realized very quickly that I wanted to teach high school level kids as opposed to the middle school and younger ones.
Students find Miss Otto's classroom a calming and welcoming environment on this campus.
I love making those connections, and I love seeing them grow as people, not just in one grade in particular, but as they progress through high school.
Miss Otto is well known throughout the school for her love of Harry Potter. While she claims she is slightly obsessed with it, I would say it's more than slightly.
A family friend got me interested in it, and I just took off. I started watching all the movies and reading all the books, and then we traveled to London to see the Universal Studios where they filmed all the films.
Lastly, some guidance from Miss Otto for the students of Bryant.
Keep up with the work, listen to your teachers, because they really do know what they're doing, they really know what they're talking about, and 9 times out of 10 they're going to tell you what they want from you if you just listen.
Hornet News Now, I'm Emery Pendergrass.
Well, Carson, spring break is almost here.
Finally, if I'm being 100% honest, I kind of need a break from Westbrook's class.
Girl, me too, and I think Westbrook needs a break from us.
Well, spring break is what's trending this week. Here's MJ Ferguson with more.
As spring break gets closer and closer, we ask kids around Bryan High School, what are they planning to do? Let's see. So what are you planning on doing for spring break?
I'm actually going to Australia. I'll probably hang out with some friends, maybe some family, just see what I can do, see what I can't do.
I'm going on a cruise to Cancun.
Me and my family are going to Russia and meet with people over there.
Wait, you're going to Russia?
Yes. We're going to Russia, spring break 2023.
I'm going back to my hometown, Palm Beach, Florida.
Are you making any other destinations, any other stops?
We gonna stop in, I think it's Jamaica and Cozumel. I think I said it right.
There's one thing that you can do that you don't know if you can do. What would it be?
To go to some sort of family or like a restaurant with my family, like a nice restaurant.
So, the beach, you're going to go there. How often are you going to go there?
I'll be there pretty much every day, practically, just chilling,
So, what are you planning on doing there?
The wildlife interests me a lot, the oceans, everything about Australia is kind of like it.
So, you're not scared of the wildlife at all?
Oh, I'm scared of some things about it.
Like what?
Kangaroos.
That's all for the What's Trending this week. Now back to you, Hannah and Carson.
Thanks, MJ. Now it's time for sports, and it's a busy time of year.
In studio, here's Taylor Dissinger.
Thanks, Carson. Last week, the Bryant wrestling team competed at the state championship where senior Presley Givens ended her high school career with a win, claiming her 2nd consecutive state championship and also her 100th overall victory. She also competed this past week at USA Nationals competition in Nebraska and ended up in 2nd place overall. The Bryant baseball season has just started. With a preview of the season, here's Hornet Media sports reporter Grant Johnson.
The Hornets have been working out in the mornings at 5 a.m. and started before and after school since January. Even though they are a young team, their plans and expectations remain the same.
We've been practicing for about 4.5 months now, and I'm excited to see what these guys have put their off-season into, what they've done to develop and work together to compete as a team. So I'm excited to see how much they've grown.
This year's team looks very different with only 2 seniors after graduating 14 last year. One of those seniors is 6A Central All-Conference center fielder Jordan Knox.
Looking forward to having a pretty good season, better than last year, of course. I think we'll be pretty good this year, looking to win state.
While a lot of teams struggle to find chemistry early on, that doesn't appear to be a problem with this team.
I tell you what, they're best friends. All right, every one of them has got each other's back. Okay, and it's fun to watch. Frustrating at times because there's a lot of camaraderie and conversations, but they are a fun-loving group, and it's fun to be around.
Jordan explains the role that both Coach Quick and Brown have played on his life on and off the field.
Like you said, not just baseball, how to be a better man and a better leader for all the younger guys on the team, and just how to lead the team pretty much.
The team started out with a win against Greenbrier in the benefit game. While it's early, Coach Quick is aiming for a big year.
Well, our expectations are always to win and to win state championships, and so we haven't done that in quite a few years. And so what we got to do is worry about winning each pitch. Okay, we've got the talent, we've got the sweat equity, but we've actually got to perform on the field, and we just need to worry about what we can control and do the best we can, and see where the chips lie at the end.
For Hornet Media, I'm Grant Johnson.
Thanks, Grant. In boys and girls soccer, both teams competed in a tournament in Fort Smith this past weekend, where both teams won 1 game and lost 2. For additional soccer content, check out the latest episode of the Bryant Buzz, where I featured international student Leah Goosefers. Also featured on the Bryant Buzz was the archery team. An update to that earlier story. The team competed at state Saturday and finished in 5th place. And lastly, congratulations to Ethan Eubanks, who tied the 50-yard freestyle record with a time of 22.72 at the 6A Arkansas High School State Swim Meet held at UALR. That's a look at sports. Now on to Mitchell Elmore with our 3-day weather report.
Thanks, Taylor. On Friday, it will be a sunny day with a low of 45 and a high of 63. Also on Saturday, it will be cloudy with a low of 41, but we will have a high of 56. Now on Sunday, it will rain with a low of 46, but we will have a high of 60. Also for you car enthusiasts out there, what did the tornado say to the sports car? Want to go for a spin. Back to Hannah and Carson.
Thanks, Mitchell. That's it for this episode of Hornet News Now.
Reminder, you can find the February episode of the Bryant Buzz and additional content on our YouTube channel. I'm Carson Hobson.
And I'm Hannah Rudnick. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.